everyone, the Crafty Atelier Angela's here with a free tutorial of one of these guys, a little leggy froggy. Woohoo! These are some of the materials that you'll need. You'll need some yarn. I chose a Parfait Chunky and a 5mm hook. You need a stitch marker, if you need one, scissors, and a little needle, and some eyes. I think these are 10mm, and some stuffing. Probably not this much, but just a little bit. So yeah, if you have bigger yarn, use a bigger hook size. You'll get a bigger froggy, but it might look a little weird just because the pattern is made for this tiny keychain size froggy. So the next thing you'll need is a pattern, and here it is right here. If you can read patterns, hopefully this makes sense to you, but we will go over it step by step if you wanted to write it down. Okay, so I have my yarn, and I'm going to leave a longish tail just in case I need to close up any gaps on the head, because I didn't start with a round. So I'm going to just chain 7. So start your chain here, and we're going to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there was our chain there. And this is going to be second from the hook. So we have this one, and this is number 2. We're going to double crochet 4 times in this same stitch. So I'm going to sling on some yarn. I'm going to go through the very top, if I can, the very top, and then I'm going to pull through. So I have 3 stitches here, 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull through just the first 2. Then I have 2 left. I'm going to pull through that one. That is a double crochet. So I'm going to do that 3 more times in that same stitch. It might be a little tough, but just kind of work it in there. If it's a little tough, it'll be okay because you won't have too many gaps. If it's too loose, you might have some gaps. That's why I left a long tail, in case you need to just sew up those little gaps. So we're going to do one more double crochet here in the same stitch. And these give those little bumps on the very top of the head for their eyes. I never put them on the very, very top, just because I think it looks kind of funny. So I put them kind of below that. So after that, we're going to 4 single crochet. So that was 1, sorry. Here's 2. And this is, again, just the top little loop here on this stitch. So that's 3 and 4. And then you should have 1 left. This first one is just the securing loop or stitch here. This last one, you're going to put 5 double crochet, and you're going to kind of bring it around this way, and then that's when you'll start your rounds into your project. So I'm going to do the double crochet. So there's 1, and then 2, again in the same stitch. And this one might get a gap, and that's okay. I usually do, so I have to use this other tail to sew it closed. So that was 2. Here's 3, and you can see that your project is starting to wind around this way, and that's what you want. So that was 3. This is 4. There we go, and then 1 more than the last one. So this is 5 double crochets. There we go. So that's what it starts out looking like. This one might not need any sewing, which is awesome. This is like the first time ever that I won't need to plug up a hole here or a hole here with this extra thread. So at this point, you want to put a stitch marker. So this whole thing would be considered 1 round, the round 1. So it's just making the very top of your project. So then round 2 to 4 is 18 single crochet around, so 3 rounds. 18 stitches in the whole round. So what you're going to do is you're going to count single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around until you get back to this one as 18. So if you don't have 18, either add one, take one away, something like that, just to get to 18. Sometimes I have to do that just because I miscount. So it's not the end of the world. Just I will come back after 3 rounds. Okay, so I am done with all 3 rows. So I am at row 5 now. And before I do that, I am going to add the eyes. So I'm going to just pull that out just a little bit so it doesn't pull out my stitch there by accident. So I have 10mm eyes. You can do whatever size that looks cute to you. I think these bigger ones look pretty cute to me for this small size. And then I am going to put it right about, maybe right over here. I just kind of gauge. So that looks cute to me. I try to do them fairly even. Sometimes that doesn't work out. So, and then I'm gonna just push on the backs here. It is fairly hard. So if you have a tool of some sort to do that, I've seen these really cool tools where you can just clamp them on, which is kind of cool. I have some that you just press and they work fairly well too, but I just find it's faster just for me to just with my fingers. So there we go. So there's the eyes. And now we're going to start the 5th row here. And this 5th row is going to add the arms on both sides. So again, depending on your tension, depending on, you know, how many stitches across you did, where you ended up, you may have ended up right here. Sometimes that happens to me. You'll just have to gauge about right here is where you want the arm. So take away, add stitches to the round. So round 5. I usually do, if I'm around here, I usually do about 7. I put the arm on, I do 10, I sling an arm on, and then I do 1 stitch after that. As long as it adds up to 18 stitches around, you should be fine. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and see how 7 is, if you flatten it out a little bit, you can see where 7 comes in, and if that's not enough for you, go more. If it's too much, go less, to right around the slide. So now I'm going to sling on the arm, and the arm is chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're only going to give this frog 2 toes, just because it's smaller. I mean, you can give it 3 toes if you want, just like a regular leggy froggy. That is totally up to you. I'm going to just do 2 because I think it looks really, really cute to have 2 for these smaller ones. So what you're going to start with is just like before, you started for the 2nd. You're actually going to do the 3rd chain from the hook. So I'm going to sling one on. I'm going to go through the top portion. Make sure your chain is not twisted, so just make sure that. We're going to pull through, and we have 3 loops on, just like the double crochet, but we're only going to do a half double crochet, which means, excuse my stomach, if you heard that, and we're just going to pull through, instead of 2, we're going to pull through all 3. So that's a half double crochet. So that's 1 toe. We're going to go in that same stitch, pull through, and we're going to slip stitch. So not make a single crochet, we're just going to slip it through. So that gives us our division of our toe. We're going to chain 3 there, and then sling your yarn, go in one more time through that same stitch of your toe, and then again a half double crochet, which is pull through all 3. And this one kind of gives me a little trouble sometimes. There we go. And then one more time through, and we're going to slip stitch. There we go. So now the foot is done. So just make sure again that your chain is not twisted, and we're going to start slip stitching the very top of the stitch all the way back down. So let's do this here and make sure it doesn't twist on you. Slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch. And then what I like to do is I like to go through this previous stitch, so stitch number 7. I like to go through both and just kind of, I slip stitch one more time, and then I go into the next, just single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that should be around the same side. And I'll do another arm, and then I'll finish off with that 1 single crochet, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now I'm done with the second arm. I am back at the start. My stitch marker is in the stitch behind my hook. And now all I'm gonna do is do the body. And to do the body, all you gotta do is single crochet around 3 times. So this will be round 6 through 8, and all you're gonna do is just single crochet all the way around. So 1, 2, and there should be, again, 18 stitches in total. And how I do the arms is like this. So I take this 1 stitch here, if I can grab it. It is a bit tough just because it's a little bit tighter there. So that's 1. And then I go around the arm to this one right here. So there's that one. And then it plugs up that hole underneath the arm. So do that for the arms, the other arm as well. So, and I will meet you back here after 3 rounds. So I've done the body. Now we're gonna finish up this last round with the legs. So it is single crochet 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I stop and I make sure that that's where I want my leg to go. And I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm gonna do, the legs are exactly like the arms. So you chain 10, you make some toes, and then you slip stitch back down, and then you do the next one over here. So I will come back once I am done with both of those, and then we will stuff it and finish up. So now I just finished the leg, and I have my stitch marker. There's still 1 more stitch to go, but I am actually going to just take this out, and then I'm gonna fold this shut here, and then I'm gonna single crochet both of these closed. So I want to go through that stitch, right? I'm gonna go through the next stitch as well, and then I'm gonna pull through single crochet to close that bottom hole up here. I'm only gonna do it halfway for now because we still need to stuff it. So go through both, single crochet, go through the first one, go through the second, single crochet. And that's where I'm gonna stop right now. Get your stuffing, whatever batting or polyfill or whatever you use, it doesn't matter, I don't care. You can keep it flat for all I care. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have to work with, you do your thing. So I'm gonna push it in there, try and fill up where the eyes are first. And I like to fill these little ones fairly tight, just because they're just so tiny. And they kind of look a little too floppy, like their body looks a bit too floppy, and all I want is their legs to be floppy. So I want their body to be kind of round and pudgy. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. You could even give them butts too if you really want to. So I'm stuffed them as much as I want, and I am going to pull this back if I can. There we go. And then I'm going to just finish up basically single crocheting him shut. So there's that one, that one. There's really no set number, at least I haven't counted. I just close it up. You can if you want to. And then on the last one there, I just pull at least a little bit. I clip it, I pull through. All right. And then I'm gonna thread this through my needle. And what I like to do is just kind of take up one of the threads from the stitch, do this, and kind of seal it with a knot here, and then go in and just punch it through wherever I can without punching the stuffing out of it. There we go. Just pulling through, pushing that back, pushing the stuffing back that I did. And then what I like to do is give the limbs a little tug. Just because, yeah, there we go. Kind of stretch the yarn a little bit, give it a little bit more floppiness, because it is pretty compacted from, you know, slinging the yarn on. So there you go. There's that. And I am going to actually take this smaller yarn and probably put a face on it. You can put any kind of face on it. This one was one of my little derpy ones, so got a little derpy mouth and a little this one's a meh. This guy's pretty happy right there. And then just the original, just kind of yeah. So I will give it a mouth, and then they are done. That is a leggy froggy keychain size, so you can see. You just sling on a keychain on the top here, and you're good to go. Thanks, guys. If you liked, please subscribe, please give a like, and for future videos. So if you do happen to do this and you want to tag me on Instagram, I'd love to see your little leggy froggies, because I think they're so cute. I didn't even know I could do this until just the other day. So yeah, I'd really love to see yours. So I will see you later. Bye, guys.